that today. I was spending some time with the God that I love and worship. By the way, I'm a new father. Since the last time I filled in for Brian, I've got a brand new bouncing baby boy at home. He's 8 days old today. Yesterday. 8 days, 9 days today. A week ago Sunday, little Jonathan Stephen came to be part of the McCullough household, and I'm moved by the creation of life that God allows. It does something inside of me that nothing else does. I don't know how to describe it. I've experienced it twice now, both with sons. But I was up early this morning, actually assisting in the 2 a.m. feeding. And by the way, you want to see some really funny stuff, read my Facebook page and look for the timestamps that all come between 2 and 3 in the morning. There's misspellings, bad punctuation, words that don't make sense, words that haven't been invented yet. There's all kinds of goofy stuff in those posts. That's because, I'm trying to post on Facebook with one hand and rock and feed a child in the other sometimes. But anyway, I was up early this morning, and I was reading in Oswald Chambers' Devotional, My Utmost for His Highest, and he's talking about the Sermon on the Mount. Sermon on the Mount's a pretty interesting thing, pretty interesting speech. The president gave a speech today from what some believe to be the Mount of the United Nations. I personally would like to see it turned into a parking garage, because I think rates of parking in New York are way too high, and I think if we knock that sucker down and put like a 45-story parking garage in its place, the city would get more revenue, but we'd have more parking on the east side. It'd be an awesome thing, and it'd be more productive to humanity as a whole. But the president gave a speech there today. Oswald Chambers was writing about the speech that Jesus gave. And Chambers said at one point in this discussion, he said, our Lord's teaching can really be summed up into this. The relationship that he, God, demands for us is an impossible one unless he has done the supernatural work in us. Wow, Kev, that's kind of heavy for 2 p.m. East Coast time. But it's true. See, for everything that you want to think about God, there's 2 truths that you can't escape. And one is that he has no obligation to rescue you at all. And the other irrefutable truth is that you're not worthy of rescue. Not on your own merit. Not for things that you've done. It doesn't matter how good you think you are. At the end of the day, you're not worthy of grace or redemption. If you were, it wouldn't be redemption and it wouldn't be grace. Grace is only the giving of something that you don't deserve. So in order for us to have a relationship with God, Chambers says he has to do something that no one else can do. He's got to do a supernatural, going beyond the natural, to make this happen. And what is that supernatural work? It's to inject God's very presence into our hearts. And friends, today as we look through the prism of truth to examine these news stories and to talk about what difference they make in this world, I want you to keep this in mind. None of it even matters if Jesus doesn't own you. If you'd like to discuss this more, there's a page on my website, thebingethinker.com. You click on the section that's called God Thought, and you can join us. Our Lord's teaching can be summed up in this, says Oswald Chambers: the relationship that he demands for us is an impossible one unless he has done a supernatural work in us. I'm Kevin McCullough, and for Brian Fisher, coming right back on AFR Talk, today's Focal Point broadcast, looking at the UN speech from the President and other things, important things, when we continue.